Okay, I think everything is good.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night.
Hi, everybody.
Всем привет.
Today we are here for a public talk. We wanted to talk about, frankly, relationship. Karma of Love is the name of today's class, and we were thinking that probably the best seeds we ever planted in our life. I mean, the best thing that we have done is that we met each other.
Yeah, it's at the top 2 or 3, certainly. Getting a teacher was also up there because I would have never met, without a teacher.
Yeah, right. So we were thinking, what is the coolest thing that we can talk about and to invite with these people to ACI 2 that will start next Friday. And this is, of course, relationship, because I also think that you can be really happy if your relationship are great, and you can be really miserable if your relationship do not work. Even you have all the money in the world, even you have great success, even you have good health, and everything else, but relationship can make you really miserable.
Yeah, ask us how we know.
Yeah, and this is
it's a second marriage for both of us, right? But we understand failure.
Yeah, we understand failure, and I think we worked a lot also on ourselves. I mean, we have good relationship with our previous partners also, not only we found each other. Because, with the time you just have gratitude and nothing else. Even you were thinking that relationship were kind of not fun, right? Yeah, and the reason why we are so efficient in the relationship subject is that we have done ourselves all kind of mistakes, because there are a lot of wrong understanding what to do if you really want to have a great partner, like what is the place where to look for your partner, or like should you change yourself? I mean, is there any kind of special behavior that you should undertake to attract your perfect partner? Like it's not a joke. I mean, there are a lot of, just check it out, there are a lot of courses for women that will teach you that red color is really great. Like, you should always wear something red.
Yeah, it's a krasny. I like red.
Yeah, but it may not be really efficient in bringing your partner.
No, it's not going to be the cause. It would be nice if it was that easy, right?
Yeah, it would be great if I just need to, wear something red. Like one of my friends, she shared that she was taught to wear like a red jewelry and also red underwear. And the reason why we are talking about it, it didn't really work, but there was something else that really works. So, do we want to talk about relationship problems first? Or?
Well, let's talk about why. I mean, this is an audience that's not that familiar with ACI, right?
Both. There are people who are familiar, who are not familiar.
Well, both Inna and I, a while ago.
Translating.
Yeah.
Don't worry, translators. I will kick him if he will go too fast.
I will try and talk slower. Yeah, it's quite an honor actually to have 10 people translating us for these different countries, because we really, Ina and I really do want to help people with their relationships and their lives. And why? What do we think we have that can help you? And it's really uh, two things, right? You could call it one thing. If you're just kind to other people, your world will get better. But then why? Why does being kind have an effectiveness? Why is that important? And it's because there's a cause and effect relationship between everything you do. What you do to other people will come back to you, guaranteed. And that's because of emptiness, which we can go into later. But the world is basically a blank screen. I'm quite convinced that you can make your life whatever you want to make it based on how you're treating other people, which is how we ended up with a really genuinely happy relationship.
Look, my love, how did you end up learning all this stuff? You are like very successful, right? You became an instructor pilot at the Air Force when you were like, what, 20 something?
22, I think, 23.
Yeah, 23 years old. You became an instructor pilot at the Air Force. Like, it's kind of a little bit different from these teachings. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah, that was all.
I want to hear your failures, before.
Failures. Yeah. Yeah, my dad was a Navy fighter pilot, and then I wanted to go into the Air Force and fly the planes. And it was, I mean, it was fun flying, but it was also,
I didn't know you were flying these Kenyans. Like you did a post on your Instagram, and I have never heard from him that he was not only he was flying fighter fighter planes. They were flying in the Kenyans, like I bet it was cool.
yeah, for a young man, it was a lot of fun, but I also saw the older soldiers and who had been in combat, and I saw how, even though they were theoretically the winners, they were broken, right? I remember watching a general up on the stage talking to us about what it was like to have been in Vietnam, and he's in front of 200-300 fighter pilots, and he just starts crying on stage, like very unmanly, right? For a fighter, but he was, it had damaged him, and so, I enjoyed the planes. I wasn't sure I wanted to kill people, frankly.
For living.
Yeah, for a job. It was clearly something wasn't right there, right? I mean, not that you don't have to defend yourself in certain situations, but you start looking for answers. And then I'd been introduced to Buddhism in college. And I knew that I wasn't quite sure after my college courses what was going on, but I knew there was something
slower.
Yeah. I knew that there was something that was interesting there. So and then other things happened. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead. It was a friend's near-death experience, right? And they told me that they had literally, they died and gone to heaven, come back. And they're like, okay, well, what do you do with that, right? I mean, it was somebody I trusted, somebody who obviously, I mean, they weren't trying to sell me a book. They weren't, they were honest. I knew what they were saying was real. And then you start looking for answers. Oh, what does that mean? Yeah. And brought me back to Buddhism and the ideas of cause and effect, or karma. And started studying. And then the more I studied, the more I realized, oh, there's something there. It had been interesting in college, but you start studying and you start seeing things that confirm that they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, and by studying at college, Bill means that he selected as a optional course, just studies of Buddhism. This is what it means.
Yeah, I knew nothing about religion. Just picked a course at random. Happened to get the leading professor in the English-speaking world on Tibetan Buddhism.
Jeffrey Hopkins.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hopkins.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hopkins was the professor with whom Bill studied it.
So I ended up studying for 10 years and then going into studying Tibetan Buddhism formally for 10 years and then going into a 3-year retreat to try and apply what I'd learned. Your journey was a little different.
Yeah, very different, because what he didn't say, that I was trying to push him under the table, but it didn't work. So I will go ahead and say what I wanted him to say.
I thought you were telling me to be slower.
That too. That it was always about relationship, that Bill tried to do something about it because it didn't work for him since actually forever, right?
You know, and until I met you, yeah, every relationship had been ultimately unsatisfying, right? I may have been learning something from it, but it wasn't, I never felt like, I never had the partner that I really wanted until, I was 53.
Yeah, and for me, it was very much related to relationship, why I ended up studying ACI. Because to be honest, I always knew my life is about relationship. I don't know, maybe a lot of girls are like me. Probably not every single, but I think a lot. I was reading some novels. It was always about love, but kind of I was not really successful. I was pretty, but I don't know. I didn't feel like, I'm loved. Was strange because it was from the point of view of other people, maybe not true, but was not really satisfied, and for different reasons. Some of them are quite objective. And I'm coming from science. There was no religion in my life, like almost none of them, except my attempts to understand Christianity that I was making. But I was born in an atheist family. Like my parents would not go to any church. I was my worldview was just scientific worldview. You are nothing. You are born. You die, and you are nothing again. Something like that. But for some reason, from one nothingness to another nothingness, there is a scientific worldview where you try to explain everything with, cause and effects, different ones, but nothing in the beginning and at the end never made really sense to me. So I was not, and especially I did not feel, I was not really happy in relationship in 2 words for different reasons. When you think, whatever I do, whatever I will try, I'm sure it will not work. Like when you are like 40, probably this is what comes to your mind, right? So, and by the age of 40, I was pretty convinced that that's it. I will not have a relationship. I mean, I found already my teachers, and I knew where to go with ACI classes. They gave all the answers to questions I ever had. And I started to have questions I would never dream to have, to be honest. But I mean, I had my path to go. My life was quite satisfying from this point of view, meaning I was doing what I believed in, right? It's a great fortune, if you live your life according to your beliefs and according to your heart, to be honest, right? And then my teacher, Geshe Michael Roach, he he continued to give public talks like the one that we give right now, where he would explain how to get your perfect partner in case you do not have one right now. I don't know. Actually want to check because we work a lot on relationship and they're getting better and better. It feels like, I don't know,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Maybe not for Bill.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people warned me. A lot of pilots end up divorced, and I remember I was talking with a friend of mine at my former company, and I said, "Oh, I met this lady. She's great." He said, "Well, whatever you do, don't get married." and then of course, we did get married, and we'd been together for a couple of years. And somebody says, I said, I'm really happy with my relationship. And the guy was like, well, give it time. You won't be. Well, we've been together 4 years, and we're happier than I think we're happier now than we've ever been. We learned how to be a couple, and relationships don't have to,
They
die.
actually do if you do not know how to fix, right?
Yeah, well, they'll all die if you don't know how to fix them.
Yeah.
Like if you're not, do you want to talk about karma and metal seeds now? About what's the process that you actually, how do you have a partner? What is?
First of all, if you have like I would really like to see how many people they think they have a perfect relationship. Like just put a plus in the chat.
Can we go? How many people are here?
Regardons la plante dans le chat, à savoir combien de personnes sont en relation.
Could you please assign French interpreter to French channel?
How many people are here? Can we see?
Wait, my love. Please assign Lucy.
Hello?
Yes, Lucy, you are talking in the main channel, so I ask, or maybe I can assign you. Okay. Oh no, I cannot do it. Okay, now we can continue. Sorry, guys, because we sometimes it doesn't work with the translators. So okay, so I can see people are putting pluses. Some of them, they want them to be ideal, but I'm really happy that there are people who think their relationship are already ideal, because if what we teach is true, if what we teach here and what we learned ourselves is true, so the better relationship you will have, the more you will go this path, the more actions you will do to help other people to get their relationship, the more happy couples you will see here. So that was my test. I was thinking, I bet we should have in our audience people who think that their relationship are already perfect, because it makes sense, right? And why it makes sense, we will tell you in a while.
Yeah, third flower, but it is so the whole idea, right, is that you're better at talking about mental seeds and the pen. Do you want to talk about the pen now? About how this process works? So that the basic idea is that everything you do, everything you think, say, or do is recorded by your mind as a mental impression, right? It's like a fingerprint in dough. Or putty, and it stays there, grows, and then your mind later projects it back out onto the world, onto some kind of reasonable basis. And then your mind projects an image, and that image is what you experience. It looks like the outer world, but it's actually your mind projecting onto a blank screen. And so when you understand the process, when you understand that you're putting mental seeds into your mind that are projecting out the world that you're experiencing, then you can start controlling your actions to get the images you want to see, right? So in the case of a partner, you start helping other people from being lonely. Particularly effective are like older people who are alone, and you visit them. This is kind of funny because one of the ways I was planting seeds, one was I made sure to call my grandmother every week and talk to her. I was very busy. I was working. I was going to classes. I could only visit her once a year. But I made sure to call her every single week. And even as she got older, she had dementia. She'd been very smart, but she lived to be 104. As she got dementia, she would just keep asking the same question over and over and over again. And I mean, she would stay in a loop like that for an hour. You know, when are you coming over? Oh, that's great. When are you coming over? When are you coming over? It wasn't easy to talk to her by that point because she'd been very brilliant. But I was very consistent about doing it. And it was one of the ways that I planted seeds to have a partner later on. And I was doing it quite intentionally, both because I wanted her to be happy and because I wanted to have a partner. They're not opposed, right? You can want both other people to be happy and yourself to be happy at the same time. But the funny thing is that because the images give you a result that's similar to the original action, but greater, what ended up happening after I met Inna, I met her in person. We were in Sedona at a Tibetan language class when I met her. But then she was in France. I was in the United States. And then the pandemic happened. And so it wasn't easy to get back and forth in 2020. And so I ended up talking to her a lot. We couldn't physically be together, but every day we talked on a video chat like this. And so the result was greater, right? I wasn't just talking on the phone. I could see her. We talked for hours. We could talk every day, but I wasn't physically with her. So the results were very similar to the original action, which was kind of hilarious. It was like,
but better because you could see.
Yeah, no, I could see. Yeah, I could see her. Yeah, it was better. The results were greater. We talked every day for 2-3 hours.
See each other every 8 months.
Yeah. But and I saw her about every 8 months instead of once every 12 months. So it was funny.
I think that
and frankly, it was pretty obvious that that's why that was happening.
To give some structure, so if you want, I can see Olga is writing that how to improve relationship if you are together for 36 years. It doesn't make a difference how many years you're together. It is very difficult to believe it, I know.
Yeah.
But actually, it doesn't matter if you are creating a new relationship or you want to improve the one that you have already.
Mental seeds work exactly the same regardless of what your current condition is.
Yeah. So first thing, if you want to do something, is to decide which worldview do you trust, right? Do you think that whatever you do will not help? That's like, I don't know. Somebody else is in charge, right? I'm not in charge. Whether it is some higher force like the universe or the God, but if it's not me, then frankly, I don't know what I can do, right? If somebody else is responsible for the situation. So do you believe that it is just random and nobody is responsible? Like it's just you plant a tomato seeds and you can get bananas out of it? This is the second possibility. And the third one is what Bill calls cause and effect. I call it scientific worldview. I mean, real scientific worldview, not the one that tells you that there was a Big Bang and everything after that was logical and the cause and effect started to work, but it didn't work to have the Big Bang, right? It's kind of not really, does not support the idea of cause and effect because there was no cause for the first bang.
Yeah, the famous line on that subject is science says, give us one miracle and we'll explain the rest. Give us the Big Bang. We don't know how that happened, but then we'll explain the rest. So, you know, and there's holes in their thinking about that.
Yeah. So first, you need to decide what is your worldview. Do you think that everything is created by somebody else, like a higher being or whatever you call it? Do you think it is all random? Do you think that you influence? If you do, then you kind of, this is the algorithm, very easy, right? Then I say, okay, I take over my responsibility. I will be driving my life, right? I will do something that that will be helpful for my relationship. And then if it's cause and effect, then welcome. Then you are in the correct place because here, this is what we are teaching. We teach people how to get some control on our lives that are not in control right now. And I think let's go and explain the...
Well, one quick note on God. So the three worldviews, there's only three really, if you look at it. It's God, an outside force doing it to you, random, nobody's doing it, or cause and effect, you're doing it yourself. And if you're Christian, if you were raised with the idea of God and Jesus, I think what you'll find is that as you study this, it'll help you understand Christianity better. It will answer some...
Or Islam.
Or Islam or Judaism. It will help you understand your religion better, and it will make you a better practitioner of your religion. I was very involved in the Christian church, the Episcopal church downtown. But there were questions, there were things that weren't quite logical in what they were saying. And then studying Buddhism actually helped me to understand that. So don't think that you can't be Christian or that you have to abandon your Christianity or your Judaism or Islam. You can, it's...
If you create your partner with this knowledge.
Yeah.
It's okay, you can stay in your religion.
and you'll see all of those religions at their core. Every valid worldview, every valid religion is going to tell you to treat other people the way you want to be treated. I can look it up. There's on Wikipedia a long list of all the various statements. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why every religion has always been telling you that there's really only one rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And it's because of these mental seeds that we're talking about.
Okay, let's go to the, I don't know, probably to the laws of rules of seeds. So basically...
Do you want to do the pen first, or do you want to do the seeds?
I will do the seeds first.
Okay.
Yeah. So because we touched already with your story, right?
Okay.
That you planted your relationship, right,
Yeah.
with your grandmother. So how it works? Basically, Bill's favorite subject is the golden rule. You can look it up in the Wikipedia and and you can see there that every single religion has the same exact phrase, like treat another person the way you want to be treated. Like every single one, like Islam, Judaism,
Taoism, Hinduism, Jainism, it's pretty striking actually.
Everybody, right? And why they teach it? Because there are rules, only 4 rules.
Let's make sure we're talking slow enough.
Oh, okay. I'm getting my karma back now. He's pushing me under the table. the seeds, there are 4 laws of seeds, and first of them is that you get what you give. Basically, every single action, and I like to be a little bit more scientific here. I mean, even modern physics, they say that nothing goes, like material cannot go into nothingness. There is always some energy that is being transformed into another type of energy. I mean, you would not expect that if you do something, it goes into a black hole, right? It's a childish thinking that if I do something bad quickly, nobody will notice, and then I will not get consequences.
Which might be a valid option if things were random and our consciousness was strictly a product of an accident of atoms rolling around.
Yeah, if somebody believes into random things, but it also, don't forget, it implies that bananas can grow from tomato seeds. So then, yeah, it is possible to do something and never get any consequences. And I do not say that consequences you will get from the same exact person. Of course, the universe is more complicated than that. You don't get the result right away, and you do not get it somebody, I don't know at which point.
Oh, I hope we haven't been muted for long.
No, I don't think for long, because I'm watching translators. So basically, you get what you give, and it is completely scientific, because you cannot expect that it goes into a black hole, like you have done something and nobody noticed. And if you will think about, like, the best science fiction bestsellers, right? Like Ray Bradbury, he has a famous story about butterfly effect, right? Somebody traveled into the past and then just, stepped on the killed the butterfly or something like that, right? And the whole future changed. There was another president elected and other changes. So basically, everything that I think, I say, and I do has some effect, because every time it plants a kind of mental seed. But what actually it is an imprint in your mind, in your subconsciousness, probably it is, we can say. And this imprint it stays there for a while, and then it turns into a mental seed, and the mental seeds opens up, and my world changes. Like it is literally creating my world. So the first rule is I get what I give, or what I do comes back, right? And similar, I get something similar. Like if I give money, I get money back. If I steal from somebody, somebody will steal from me. Unfortunately, there is a time gap between the moment I do something and I get the result. And it would be easy. I send somebody $100 on the application, and from next second I get back and even more. Then everybody would be really ethical and behaving, right? Unfortunately, there is a time gap. It can take a long time to see your results. Second rule is that everything that the mental seeds are growing. Everything that comes back, I get it like more than what I have done. Like if I don't know, I cheated a little bit on taxes, or like was not really honest with somebody, then I will lose much more, right? Or if I did something, I donate some money, I can expect to get much more than I donate. Third law of the seeds is that if I didn't do any action, I cannot expect for the results. And this is the one that is important for relationship, because if he would not call his grandmother and would not do other things that he was doing, he could not expect to have a partner.
Never happen. Never happen.
It cannot happen.
Yeah, it's like not planting. The agricultural model works pretty well, right? So you put a tomato seed in the ground, you're only going to get tomatoes. That's the first law. The results are similar. The second one, you take one little seed and you can get countless tomatoes from it. That's the results being greater than the original action. And the third law is that you can't get a result unless there's an action. Well, you're going to wait all day long for tomato. You're going to wait the rest of your life for tomatoes and never get any unless you plant a seed. So the agricultural model works. And so
the fourth one is once the seed is planted, you did something, the results are unavoidable. So why it is important for relationship? Because I mean, if you lived long enough, I mean, at the very least 30 years, then you start to get results from your previous conscious actions. You know, probably everybody knows the best action they've ever done, and the worst. And probably if you're over 30, you start to get these results, you know, like you can trace already that you do not get something back from the same people, but it makes sense actually. Here I offended one person, and here somebody else did something very similar to me, you know. So why it is important? Because if you hurt other people's relationship in the past, then it's a good idea to put efforts to stop the seeds, you know, from growing, because you will have major obstacles to get a partner into your life. And another thing is that if you do not help lonely people to feel that they have some company, if you do not share your life with a lonely person, then you just do not have seeds for your partnership, or your seeds are you are running out of seeds. And basically, if you understand that everything is coming from seeds, then you understand also the cycle of the seed, right? You plant something, it is growing, and the only purpose and the only function of the seed is to grow and ripen and give the result. And it is very interesting because we say that seeds are stored in our consciousness or subconsciousness or in our mind, but it is not actually completely true, because in our languages we even do not really have words to call correctly where it is stored, because in the world of basically mental and physical, seeds are not physical and not mental. So they say that our mental seeds, they are stored in me, in the personality, we can say.
Which is getting a little complex. There's a huge tradition behind what we're saying. This isn't just our personal philosophy, or there's a 2,500-year-old tradition with thousands of works that explain it, and the detail that they explain it in is extraordinary. And so that's the reason why we have some confidence in this is that you can read through, you can challenge the ideas, there's debate it, and look at it yourself, right? I mean, it should be.
You can go to Schwan Centaur classes, like online translation that Geshe Michael, our teacher, is doing with translators, and you will see where this knowledge comes from. It is amazing, actually.
Yeah, a really, really rich academic tradition. And then, over the last 2,500 years, there have been people who, because everything's coming from your mind, there have been people who've gone into, who have learned to meditate deeply. They've seen their mind. They've seen these seeds ripening. You can get your level of focus and clarity sharp enough and your mind clear enough that you can see these mental seeds ripening. You can see the process of you putting a label onto something. And then even deeper than that, you can have, they're called the direct perception of emptiness. So the blank screen that we're putting our mental images onto, that blank screen is called emptiness. You can see that directly. And there have been people who've done that. And then after they come back, then they start writing about it and trying to explain it to us to help us understand.
Okay.
So there's a very deep, long tradition for this.
Okay, how this is related to relationship?
Yeah. It's related to everything. Relationship is just one aspect that we're particularly interested in.
Yeah, it's just one. It's true. It's just one aspect, but actually, how it worked out. I mean, as I told you, I was probably around 40, and I was already in these teachings for 5 years, because in ACI courses you have 18 of them, right? So it takes time. It took me like 7 to 8 years. I was not the fastest with my ACI classes. And I had a lot of changes in my life. I moved to another country, changed several jobs, had a lot going on. But my teacher was very, how to say, he was insisting that I need to plant seeds for my partner. And I was like, and at some point I just gave up. I was resisting. I was thinking, boy, really? Should I go to take care of a lonely person to a nursing home? I don't want to go to a nursing home. I don't want to take care of a lonely person. I'm busy, I travel. I'm pretty happy myself on my own. So I was not really, did not look great to me, the idea that I need to go to a nursing home. And at some point, he was really convincing. Like, he really pushed us, me and some other people. And I made a decision, okay, that's convincing. I probably need to go to a nursing home, because why nursing home? You have the most lonely people on the planet in the nursing homes. And if you ever visited, like, you enter the nursing home, and even, I mean, in the US, you can have very fancy nursing homes. Like, people, they pay a lot of money to stay there. It's like, imagine yourself in the best, very expensive kindergarten, or private school somewhere. And imagine that this kindergarten is situated in the Disneyland park or somewhere like that, and everybody is entertaining you. There are nursing homes like that. I have seen, like in Sedona, there is a very fancy nursing home. We went with Vimala. People there, they are being entertained. Like, they do all this manicure, pedicure, hairstyle all day long. They cook together something fancy, they are being entertained. The nursing home I was visited was very simple, like a public one in France, in Lyon. And my first old lady in this nursing home was Madame Claire Lazaro. She was about 100 years old. And she had profound Alzheimer. Like I was thinking, okay, I will go there, we will talk, share our thoughts. Try to share your thoughts with a person who does not remember anything, just her name. She could just remember her name, nothing else. She did not remember who she was, where she was living. She was praying all her life to one particular saint, Maria Lourdes, and she forgot even her. She had still the statue, and she forgot even her the most important saint. It was very, very strange. And then you go to this nursery home, and independently, whether it is an entertaining place or just a public nursery home where Madame Claire Lazaro was, people there, they're hungry for new faces. Like you enter and they how to say, like they really hold to a new person. They really look, oh, this is the event for them, like this is something that happened important today. They have seen a new young face.
Yeah, we were going to a nursing home in Lyon in France when Inna was living there, and yeah, we'd walk in together, Madame Noy, and
yeah, the last one
they
was
were,
Madame Noy.
and yeah, just walking in there, like, because they're basically all sitting, most of them alone most of the time. So
you go to a nursing home, and you spend time at the very least once a week, 1 hour, with the person who is lonely, who wants your attention, who wants your company. And basically this will plant the seed, because how it happens, your mind is registering everything like 65 times per second. 65 seeds are planted, tin, 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 and 65 times per second they are ripening very fast. This is why we cannot really catch up with it. We do not see really it happening. But every single second, 65 times, your mental seed ripens, and you see the picture, and you do not even notice how it happens. So you would think that as many seeds that are planted are consumed, but this is not the case, because every 24 hours, seeds, they grow, and they may even double. It does not happen to every seed. There should be a technique for them to grow fast, but seeds are constantly growing. So you can get something better, if you plant seeds more than you have done. You can get something higher, something better as a result.
Your partner can be better than what you think you might deserve, right? There's and it's not that you don't deserve it, it's the way seeds work. The results are going to be greater than the original action, so you can get a partner that's really extraordinary, and everybody has the ability to do it. It's not a matter of whether, am I pretty enough, am I rich enough, am I smart enough.
Let me check the battery. Something somewhere we have battery disconnected, not to lose.
Okay. And then also, I'll keep talking while Inna's looking at the electronic stuff.
Okay.
I think everybody who starts to have some confidence that they're creating their world mental seeds, they'll look back at their actions, and if you're human, you've made mistakes, right? And they're like, oh boy, don't want that seed ripening. You end up a little horrified, frankly. And everybody does when they realize what they're doing to themselves and to the world. And so you can clean up the old negative seeds also. That's a different process. And
Okay.
We can talk about it in the classes.
So how this is related to ACI2? ACI2 is about what can work for you, you know, like we can teach you here, and we will do it right now in several minutes, how to get your partner or how to improve the one that you have already. But in order to understand more details and I don't know how to say, you will be much more efficient in planting these mental seeds if you will know the mechanism really well. It helps. It really does.
It's critical, right, to study.
Yeah. So this is why we invite you to come and join us next Friday. We will be teaching ACI2, all 10 classes, Friday to Sunday, first 5 classes, and next week, and in 1 week, Friday to Sunday, 5 more classes. So
ACI2 is on refuge. Like, where do you go if you're human? You have problems, and where do you go for protection from those problems? What actually works, right? In America, people go for refuge to the shopping mall, right? Things will be, I'm going to go, I guess,
buy me something nice and I will feel better.
Yeah. They call it retail therapy, right? I'm going to go to the shopping mall and buy something, and then things will be better. And, you know, might work for an afternoon, and then all the old problems are still there. So we're talking about real refuge. How do you
also go to a doctor, right? And
yeah,
they think the doctor can resolve all their issues.
And they may, or they may not, depending upon whether you planted the seeds for that doctor to work. So, I mean, we go to doctors, but then the question is that doctor really going to be able to help you? And
so same question is whether I should apply efforts to find my partner. Like there are plenty of applications now, right, where you can go and find somebody to meet. Or should I go to, I don't know, should I meet somebody? Where do people go? Nightclubs? Do they still go? I don't know. Probably.
Fortunately, we don't have to think about that.
Yeah.
Tibetan language classes.
The Tibetan language classes, this is our advice. Go and get your perfect partner there.
Seriously, meet people a little more interesting.
Yeah, because in our case, it worked like 100% success, you see. I didn't go anywhere.
That's the cause for a partner.
So basically, you may think that doctor knows something or the pill can help you, a pill can help you. But actually, if you did not help another person with their health issues before, it may not. Or you can go to a nightclub, you can get registered and all the Tinders of the world. And all the partners are not great because I was never a good partner for anybody else, you know.
No.
That's it. It is as easy as this. So what do I need? Imagine, I remember that there were questions about a relationship on a distance and about 36 years of relationship. But basically there are 2 cases why relationship can, 3 cases why relationship can hurt. First, it hurts because I do not have a partner to share my life with. That's the easiest. Because you just need to clean every single instance you ruined other people's relationship if you had these events and if it happened to be the case in your life, using 4 powers, right? Second, you plant your seeds by going, by visiting somebody lonely. It does not have to be a nursery home. It can be anything else, like any lonely person, maybe at your office or at your work, or maybe I don't know, somebody working at the cafe, you drink coffee, or maybe it will be your neighbor, you know. It doesn't matter, just it should be somebody who suffers from being lonely, and you will pretend that you are their perfect companion for 1 hour a week. That's it. And this is called 4 steps, right? First step, I want a partner. Decide what you want. I want a partner. Second step, I find another person who wants the same, like another person who does not want to be lonely, right? Third, I visit and talk to this person once a week, 1 hour. And 4, by the way, without the step number 4, you will never get, okay, you will get your result.
Excellent time.
But it will take long time. So the fourth step number 4 is coffee meditation, or now we call it coffee celebration, because our friends from Singapore, they found this
story.
cool word, and we liked it. And it means you are happy about this good thing that you have done.
And before we go, because we're coming up on our hour, there's the same way that you can plant seeds to have a partner. You can plant seeds to not have a partner. And then how would you do that?
Like bad scenario.
Yeah, bad scenario, right? And it's important to look at, because you want to avoid things that are going to hurt you. And so sexual misconduct is the best way to not have a partner. So engaging in some kind of inappropriate relationship, could be physical, verbal, even mental, right? Some kind of inappropriate relationship with somebody else's partner, because then you're planting a seed to see them separate, to see them have problems, right? You're creating problems for their relationship. And so it'll burn the good seeds that you have and plant negative ones, so that you won't have a partner, or if you do, you won't be happy with them. And it's extremely, extremely powerful. It's easy to burn your good seeds, which is why, again, every religion's telling you, don't engage in sexual misconduct. In Christianity, they say, don't covet your neighbor's wife, right? Don't want your neighbor's wife. So that's the negative side of it.
Then the other question, and guys, I know you have many questions. Maybe you can, we will finish officially like probably in 5 minutes, and then we can stay for your questions, as many as you will have.
Well, the questions will go on for decades.
Yeah, this is why 1 year ago we decided to create a course, you know, like anybody asks us about relationship, and we like, go to the course, you know, True Love. It is called True Love. So True Love, 31 classes we recorded. Took us half a year.
But we'll teach you for free. Yeah, we'll teach the ACI classes for free. There's 18 of them. I mean, they're so exciting. They're so much fun. We've been going through them. And every time we teach a class, there are these big, huge, really important ideas that can help you with your life dramatically. It's extraordinary. It's so much fun.
Improving relationship. So how to plant your partner, we have just shared, right? There are details, to be honest. I mean, it is not possible to cover every single detail within 1 hour class, but there are details. And we actually actively think to do a True Love course also in English at some point. Because it was, the first one was recorded in Russian, and unfortunately, very difficult to do something with it. We should do it again. But briefly, what if you have your partner for 36 years? And there are things that you do not like there are things like you lived your whole life basically together, right? And definitely he's your relative. Definitely he is an important person for you, but there are things that you really do not like. Even if you do not have your partner yet and you will meet the one that you think is perfect, I made the list, and he asked me for a date. And during this date, I realized that he's going through the list, point by point. And still, because my mind is not perfect, I will not project a perfect being constantly, right? And in 2-3 days, okay, maybe 2-3 years, if you you have COVID and you cannot see each other, but still you will have some maybe some fights or some some disagreements, and you will have to face it. So for both people who do not have relationship or who want to improve their partner, this is the recipe. Okay. Once you see your partner is doing something that you do not like, I don't know, bad, good or bad, it doesn't matter, you do not like it, and and you think that, okay, everything comes from my seeds, and you think probably my partner does not come from my seeds, which is not true, right? Because every single detail of our world comes from my previous actions. So you think, okay, I will play the game. He is I will think he is a special being, like an angel or something. I will play the game. He is totally perfect. The only imperfect being here is me. And if he is a totally perfect personality and his only motivation is to help me to become as happy as I can, like to become a deeply happy person, right? Why does he do it to me? Like, what should I learn from this lesson? And you will get different answers. Like you will think, okay, here probably he teaches me to be more compassionate. Here he teaches me to keep my boundaries and say no when I have to say no. At some point there will be something else, maybe wisdom, to think that the way I do not like he does to me, I do probably every single day to other people, right? Maybe this is the lesson, but this is the recipe. So number one is, what if he is somebody who does not need to be perfected? What if he is helping me to become a better person, like a perfect mirror, right? It will help.
Because if this worldview is true, if everything you're seeing is a projection out of your mind from your mental seed that you planted in the past, your partner isn't going to be perfect until the seeds you're planting are perfect. And so then we could talk more about this later, and I hope we get the chance to, but when you see something that you don't like, it's a clue that you should be planting different seeds, right? And it could be a seed from way, way back in the past. You may not be planting that seed currently. But the problems you see in the world are a clue as to what you need to work on. That's an hour and 5. How much longer do we want to go on?
I think we will stop here. So just to summarize how to improve your partner. First, watch attentively what he or she does.
What if I just want to yell at them to make them better? Can I do that? I just want to yell.
Yeah, if you just want to yell, then probably you want your partner to yell at you.
Oh, okay. But maybe not such a good idea.
So first think, is there anything that you do that is exactly the same. Like if your partner yells at you, maybe you yell at your kids. If your partner, you see him or her as dishonest, find where you are still dishonest with other people and just stop it, you know. If you see your partner, I don't know, write us some suggestions, like what can be the bad qualities of partners.
Oh boy, 84,000 bad qualities possible, right?
I try to think about one. Oh, maybe your partner is snoring, you know. Then it's a very interesting seed, because probably you use harsh speech somewhere. So it's a noise that comes back to you, you know, from your partner. Then maybe you should use soft, gentle words, you know, and be careful with other people. Смотрит налево. Okay. Looks to the left, you know. In Russian, it means he's cheating on me.
Oh, well.
This is, boy, this is very painful. And to be honest, the solution is also a little bit painful, because first ask yourself if you ever did it, and if not, do you do it in your mind sometimes? Did you, how to say, encourage somebody to cheat on their partner? You know, look for stuff like that.
Yeah, even thoughts count, right? Particularly if they're repeated and you're not regretting them. So everything you think, everything you say, everything you do is planting a mental seed, and the seeds grow. So it doesn't have to be something large. It could have been something relatively small a long time ago. And then, you know, the good news is that once something like that's happened, those old negative seeds, they've ripened, those seeds have burned out. And so the important thing is not to plant negative seeds yourself, which that tends to be our natural reaction, is like, well, my partner cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat on them. And you know,
bad idea if you want good relationship.
Yeah, you just end up in a downward cycle.
Because,
and it's really up to every individual, since we're all creating our own mental show, right, that we're watching. It's up to every individual has to clean up their own world, right? You can't put that responsibility on somebody else. It's not possible. So
basically, maybe this is not your last partner, right? Maybe you will get another one, but
or maybe you'll stay with this one. You know, it can go both ways.
But the issue is, even you change your partner, all the seeds that you plant now with the current one, the other one will return to you, you see. So it really makes sense to be very conscious and very careful with the partner you are with right now, even you do not think that your relationship will work out, because you are planting seeds for your future. Every single moment, there is no downtime. Okay. If a partner is not generous, Lena knows already the answer. Yeah, if your partner is not generous, try to be generous yourself. If your partner does not want to study ACI classes with you, that's a big one, because we can hear a lot of that, right? Please do not do violence. Do not do any violence on your partners. Leave them alone. Pretend they are perfect enough, you know, and they're single. The only purpose is to help you to be perfect, you know, to become perfect. Don't drag them to ACI classes. Do not do any violence, because your violence will come back to you.
And then are you interested and supportive of what they're interested in also, right?
Yes.
And so, you know, that's coming from its own seed, right?
Okay, now I will tell my own story. We're running out of time. I'm really a bit worried about translators who are getting tired.
Yeah,
we will try to finish as soon as possible. So when I started studying ACI classes, my partner, I was in Kiev that time, and my partner, he was completely not interested in these teachings, not interested. I was doing yoga. I remember he would walk over me and go to smoke at the balcony, you know, like. So I was very unhappy about it.
Hard to imagine.
Very hard to remember even. So it changes. You are planting seeds now. Your seeds go to the end of the long line of seeds, like long queue, like maybe trillions of seeds, you know. And then you coffee meditate, you celebrate your good actions, and it helps to move these seeds faster and faster to the beginning of the line. And then the time will come, your partner will want to study with you if you are interested in his in things that he is interested in, and if you will not do any violence to him now. Because you study the seeds of this correct worldview, they will multiply. You will have lots of these seeds, and they will open in the reality where you will see many people studying it, and your partner cannot avoid it. He will have to accept your content of your mental seed, you know, that you will put on him, you know. Wow. Understand?
And you can change that. Both Inna and I had partners who were not interested in this.
Bill's wife, ex-wife, she was not interested to study it.
And, you know, for both of us, it happened to be that we ended up with different partners, but it could have, you know, it's possible that it could have gone the other direction where they would have developed an interest in it. So it's not that you have to change a partner.
No.
You have to change your seeds. And then for both of us, it worked out that it was a different partner. But it's frankly, it's a joy when you have a partner who's interested in this and you can study it together. It's mostly what we talk about during the day, because it's the most interesting, most powerful thing in the universe, right?
Okay. So I can see some other.
It's been an hour and 15. Do we have more time?
Let's go very quickly through the seeds, and we will let people go. So anything that you see from your partner, first think whether you do it yourself, and really be watchful. Like if he is using harsh speech, like really try to avoid even sarcasm, you know, even nice words with bad intention. Avoid really as much as you can. Also because your beauty comes from this, the seeds of not being hard on other people, from being patient and loving. So probably you are interested. Then if he smokes and drinks, then work on your addictions. If he does not make money, then I would say, because I also had a partner who was making 10 times less than I was making, and I was working on my generosity for many years. It does not changes within 1 second. And the reason why people are getting divorced, they don't have patience to wait for 5 to 10 years for their partners to change sometimes.
Well, and they don't know how to change their partners. And right. And frankly, that's what these courses are here for, to help you do both, to help you make the changes you want to have in your life and to do it quickly, faster than what we did it, so that you can learn from our mistakes and and change your life. And frankly, I've seen you can change your life in surprising ways pretty fast.
And the whole premise of ACI courses, your life should become better, you know, it should not become worse. You may have some ripenings, but you will not stay in this bad place. You will move up, because from now on, you know that everything that you say, that you think, and that you do plants seeds, and then you slowly getting more and more control over this process.
And it's logical, it's scientific, it works, and extreme. Eventually, you're going to have to understand this process one way or the other, because it's, you know, it's like gravity. You know, it's in fact it's more powerful than gravity. You'll change. So, but I hope you do join us. It's a lot of fun. It's beautiful. It's powerful. It's really exciting. And frankly, when you see it and appreciate it, you'll realize how fortunate we are to have clear teachings like this. It's rather, it's not typical.
Okay. That's it. This is the end of the class. Bow down to all the translators. You are amazing. Thank you very much for translating for us. And see you next week on Friday for the first class.
No, it's the end of this class. It's just the beginning of the story. So please come back.
Yeah, and all the technical team, thank you very much for recording. Thank you for Elena Smirnova, who is hosting this meeting. Thank you for Yulia Reshetnikova, who is doing a lot of work that we do not really even see. And Ludmila, I think Ludmila Podoroshka. Okay, everybody, thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Come back. The story's going to be fun.